Welcome to State of the Table. This is my regular video series where we get a look at the hobby table and see what is going on. This is designed pretty much just to be a very candid look at my hobby table for people to kind of see how I handle doing all the different projects that I do, as there are quite a lot. And I have different experience and techniques in handling those that I think hopefully will be helpful. If it is helpful, please do consider giving it a like, a share, and a subscribe. I do like to keep these short for you guys, so I will do my best. 5 minutes is the target. Let's see if we can hit it. And so let's go ahead and take a look. I'm gonna get a wide view of the table today because it's a bit of a mess, and I think that is helpful for everybody to see, because working, even with like a nice space, if you have built one up, working in a mess and generating some mess and clutter is very normal. I have got a lot of models in various stage of work and hobby and paint all on the table at the moment, and this is just how things often go. It is like this. However, it is very good to, in my opinion, go through and clean up your space as often as you can, get it organized and get refreshed and reset, because that also makes you feel good when you're getting projects going. It's nice to have that done. So, but at this moment, we're in between because I got a lot going on. Have been working on the Dark Angels project down here, as I had been doing for a while now. It's been a little tough drumming up the full interest to get this project finished quickly because I don't know enough. We're still waiting on the balance update from Games Workshop for the last part of 9th edition, and I need that update to fully plan out this army and any changes that need to happen before I go to the major event in May. And so I have some of it being worked on. It is getting further towards stages of finished, as I've got base coating and highlighting going. But it is slowly moving, and I'm doing some other projects. We'll move down to a different view here so I can show you guys individually some other things. One of the main things that's different on the table at the moment is I experimented with ways to make it easier for me to airbrush quickly when I'm just needing to do some quick airbrushing, and ways to keep the table clean. And I started working with this brown paper. This is painter's paper that you can get from a DIY store or a home store or what have you, hardware store. Pretty inexpensive to get a really big thick roll that you can undo and cut to the size that you need to get, and that will keep most of the spray off of the surface as you're working on it. So that's something that I am thinking is a good idea going forward, although I do need to refine like how I put it out and where I put it. And then I do have a vent, like an air system for airbrushing here that I can put onto the table that I built with a fan and everything, and I will probably add it to that sort of setup when I choose to reuse that again. But swapped over to using the Tamiya XF2 white for a lot of my pre-shading, and so you can kind of see that here on one of the heads that I've done, and it is excellent. Like, it thins out super nice, it minimizes a lot of speckling and stuff, and it does a great pre-shade. As you can see, I'm working on my Master Lazarus here, and you can kind of get, I don't know how well it's going to show it, but I'll do my best, that you can kind of get the vibrancy in the green, different angles. You might be able to see it a little bit better on the model himself. With the body of the model, I have basically drilled and pinned in a piece of brass rod into the foot, and then attached that with the pin vise, which is a good way to hold those if they're not attached to the base, which I've not done. I have them like this. I also did a bit of that or underpainting work on his cape, and so when I color that, it should come out with a bit of that brightness, so that should be good. Hopefully we'll get a good result there. And but using this stuff, the XF2, you can check that technique out on like channels like Cult of Paint, which is a great channel, but it is not water-based. It's like an alcohol base, isopropanol, something like that, and it requires using the X20A thinner or a similar material as a thinner. I just use theirs because it is, for the amount that you need to use, it's a great amount for the price. and it matches their product line. Also have that XF2 here as I'm working on this Land Speeder Vengeance. You can see that working. That's going to do the pre-shade for the, or the pre-highlight for the plasma glow. I'm in the meantime doing some other projects that I've been using in games otherwise. So I have been working on my actual legitimate Sergeant Cronus model, which he's like a two-part model because you have a guy that sits in a turret, and then you have a guy that's, if he pops out of the tank, he also has to be on foot. So been working on him. Have both the heads there in the tray for the skewers and stuff. And then I was working on my Voidsman. Needed to get the guy with the rotor cannon because I had the previous version of the unit that didn't have the rotor cannon. And this paint scheme turned out looking amazing, which is actually pro-acryl transparents that I messed around with, but it doesn't match. So even though it looks awesome, I'm gonna have to redo that so it matches. But it was a fun experiment. And primarily though, I spent a lot of time working on this Chaplain Cassius that you can see up on the Instagram right now. And I'm very happy with how he's turning out. Although parts of this I have painted faster rather than to the higher standard, especially some of the armor highlight. The armor highlight's done really quickly. It's also not complete. There's some areas where I haven't even done it, like the top of the thigh there. And there's probably some parts where I could do it better, especially the blending. And I haven't come close to finishing the base really yet. Also need to finish up the striping and stuff on there. There's some cleanup work and some detailing work, and of course I got to do some brightening on the Ultima symbols and some other things to finish up on this guy, Purity Seal script and all that stuff on the book. So there's some work to be done on him, but this is the type of project. One of the guys, you know, I had the model. It's nice to use some of these things in my Ultramarines. They're older models, but they're still pretty cool. And there's rules for the guy up until we go to the new edition, so I'll get some play out of this. And it's just a nice palette cleansing project, something to get done out of the backlog. If there's any more topics you all want to go over in the near future, let me know in the comments down below. It'd be great to hear from you all. And until next time, bye for now.